This is lesson 109 in Saxon's third edition, Algebra 1. This lesson is on advanced trinomial factoring. Okay, if you like factoring, you'll love this because this just adds another layer to the factoring. Okay, so we're going to start out factoring like we normally would. In this example, things are a little out of order. So the first thing we need to do, the very first thing we need to do is to put it in correct order, factorable order. All right, so we have 2x squared, so that's going to be 2x times x. This 2 right here is what's going to make all the difference because it is going to have to multiply by this number. So it's going to change things a little bit. We're no longer multiplying by just 1. So what we have to do is think of all of the factors of 15. And luckily, there are only 4. Those are 1, 3, 5, and 15. So we need to find which ones of those will fit. And sometimes you just have to do that by trial and error. All right, so I know that I'm going to have a negative 15. So I'm going to have a positive and a negative. Now this gets a little bit more tricky when you're multiplying by this 2 out here. All right, so trial and error, I'm going to say we're going to try 3 right here and 5 right here. And because I want this number to be negative, I'm going to make this negative. It's the larger. All right, so now to check my work, I'm going to say 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. 3 times x is plus 3x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Then I can add these two middle terms and I get 2x squared minus 7x minus 15. Now, I could have played around with that and done plus 5 and minus 3, and I would have seen you're going to have to do this step, guys, to check your work, okay? Other than that, it's no different than factoring. You just have to keep in mind that whatever number you put right here is going to multiply by 2, not 1. So we're just going to practice. Here we have a 3 that's going to multiply by this number here. Fortunately, the only factors of 2 are 1 and 2. And I know that 1 is going to need to be negative and 1 is going to need to be positive. Because I'm going to need a negative x here, I'm going to make the bigger number, which is the 2, negative. Let's say I put it right there like that. All right, let's work this out. 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. And 1 times x is plus 1x. And then 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. All right, so here's where you're going to tell the tale. When I combine those two middle terms, I'm going to get 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. That is not what I have here. So I did not do this in the correct order. So I'm going to start all over again. I'm going to, here to show you, I'm just going to choose a different color so you can kind of keep up. All right, so let us say that we're going to keep the 2 negative, but we're going to put it right here. All right, so 3x minus 2x plus 1. All right, let's see if that works. We have 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 1 is plus 3x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. When I combine these two terms, I see that I have hit the jackpot. 3 minus 2 is 1x minus 2. My only problem now, let's see, is that this is a positive 1x, and what I needed was a negative x. Alright, so we're going to have to try something different. Let's say we have 3x minus 1. No, I want to do plus 2 here. No, I think I was right the first time. 3x minus 1, 3x plus 2. Alright, then I'm going to get, I'm sorry, that should have been just an x, not a 3x, right here. Okay, 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x minus 1x. Well, that's just the same thing that I had. So you can see now, guys, that this can actually be pretty tricky. So we're going to have to go with, the only thing I have not done is this. And let's choose a different color. If I say 3x plus 2 and x minus 1. See, which is just changing these signs. Keep them in the same spot, but change the sign. What spot they're in is going to really matter in this advanced factoring, along with what their sign is. That matters too. Alright, so 3x times x, 3x squared. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. 2 times x is plus 2x. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. When I combine these two, I get 3x squared minus x minus 2. And that was my original. So this is my answer. Okay, let's do another one. Alright, 5x squared minus 13x minus 6. Alright, so the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, so I need a great big old 13 in the middle. So let's say I say 5 times 3. Well, that would give me 15. So I'm going to put a 3 right here and a 2 here. Alright, now I'm going to need a negative and a positive, so I'm going to make this 3 the negative because it's the bigger. And then I'm going to try this multiplication. So this is 5x squared. 5x times my negative 3 is negative 15x. And then 2 times x is plus 2x. And then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. When I combine these two terms in the middle, I get 5x squared minus 13x minus 6. So that is what I started out originally with. So the correct answer is this. Okay, let's do your practice problems. Alright, the first thing we're going to have to do in this one is get it set up in the correct order. So 2x squared minus 11x minus 21. The factors of 21 are 1 and 21, 3 and 7. Alright, so let's say we've got 2x, x. We need a negative 11 in the middle. So I'm going to say, I'm going to put this 7 here and I'm going to make it negative because it's going to multiply by the 2 and give me 14. Then I'm going to put a plus 3 right here. I'm going to do the math. 2x squared. 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. 3 times x is positive 3x. And 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Add the middle terms. 2x squared minus 11x minus 21. So I was right the first time, fortunately. And that is my correct answer. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next one. All right, this one is in correct order, and luckily the factors of 2 are only 1 and 2, so it's going to just matter which one I put where. Now I need to remember that the one that goes in this spot is going to multiply by 3. So I'm going to say I'm going to put the 2 here and the 1 here, and I need this 2 to be positive because I need a positive 5 here when I do my multiplication. And I'm going to do negative 1. Alright, so 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 2 is plus 6x. Negative 1 times x is minus 1x. And negative 1 times 2 is minus 2. Add the two middle terms. 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. So this would be the correct answer for that problem. This, guys, just takes some trial and error and really takes some thought. So this is going to help you build your thinking processes. Good job. I'll see you next time for lesson 110.